Faith can move mountains. Radio Maria 91.3 FM.
The voice of truth.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nigeria.
Mr.
Morning,
President,
Abuja.
Mr. President, I like your voice. I think you were in the Middle
Africa Middle East Conference in
yes.
Tunisia. Yes.
I saw that the whole place was lit up with Nigerian flags and so much young people around there.
Yes.
And so that actually caught our attention.
Okay.
So we really want to know a few things about. We understand that your organization is a youth-based organization. So and that is why we personally, specifically, came up with this topic to spotlight promoting youth civic engagement. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you find yourself in that organization, and tell us why you find yourself in that organization and what the organization is all about.
Okay, thank you so much. Once again, my name is Oladipupo Abayomi Latif, a JCIN ambassador. The current president of JCI also here in Abuja, and what we do is to create positive impact in our community through volunteering. And I can tell you for a fact that the conference you refer to actually assembled over 1,005 youths.
That's huge.
Yes, we mean leaders from various countries in the city of Armament in Tunisia. Why are we there in Armament? Why we're there is to talk about how we could impact our communities, how we could transcend to the nearest generation through learnings. We discussed how we could develop a better Africa, a better country, and a better self. Because for you to develop a country, it's in phases. You have to first of all develop yourself, your mindset, and also to have a clearer vision of purpose, what you actually want to do. So that was why we're in Armament. But in our various local organizations, we also do the same thing in our various local organizations. For us in Abuja here, what we do is to actually impact our communities. We have 3 local organizations here in Abuja. And if you've heard about JCI before, JCI has presence in well over 120 countries in the world, where we do clearly community service, where we transcend what we call leadership learnings.
So let me cut in there.
Yes.
So this clusters of people, are they just only youth? There are no older person?
Well, there are older persons. The organization is an organization of young, enterprising leaders within the ages of 18 and 40. Now, it does not mean that when you're 40, when you attain the age of 40, that you can't still make impact. You can't make impact, but it only leaves you from that active age of taking roles. But you can actually sit behind and advise for the younger ones to take the lead and make that positive impact in their community.
Okay, thank you. We're going to come back to that. So, you wanted to say something now?
I would like to.
Let me lay background for him, because I'm going to quiz him a lot today. So, I'm very excited having you, because I know a bit of what JCI is all about. I have a couple of friends among that organization, and so that's why we're very interested in knowing a little bit of what you guys are doing in promoting youth civic engagement. And in your statement, you have already made us to understand that organization is a young people movement.
Yes.
So now, I want to bring something to your notice. Collective life and activities that are independent of the state. That is, individuals make up civil society. I'm just giving you an idea of something. There are civil society organizations help citizens to formulate and create agendas, right, for action. Align those actions with different policy options, and then communicate the desired action to government entities with the power to make things happen. Now, the first question I want to do is that, first, how are you mobilizing young people into this group? And as you are mobilizing them, how are you putting them on the path on how to engage in civic responsibilities.
All right, thank you, Success, and I'll tell you for a fact that being within the ages of 18 and 40 is very key for every nation. For every nation's growth, you must actually look critically into that particular age bracket. Now, for us to carry out any engagement in any community, we do what we call needs assessment of that community. Now, while engaging that community, we also make sure that we engage that age bracket 18 to 40. While engaging them to actually know what their basic needs in that community are. You know, JCI is a non-governmental, non-profitable organization. We only use our token to actually make that right impact. Now, when you engage this set of people, you also make them, there's what we call engagement, involvement in a certain community while implementing a project. So while engaging them, while involving them in that activity, they get to learn from what we do in that community. And by extension, they are able to, in the nearest future, also transcend such leadership in that community. Because let's take, for instance, we had a very wonderful program in Lagos recently, which is called the Creative Young Entrepreneurs. This Creative Young Entrepreneur is not peculiar to Nigeria. It's peculiar to over 120 countries where JCI exists. What is Creative Young Entrepreneurs about? This is to identify young persons in the country doing good things, implementing lovely initiatives for national development. Now, these persons, their entries, which they are being streamlined to maybe 10, from there to 3, from there 1 representative or more that will now represent us at the African level. Then at the African level again, we go to the world level. Now, I will tell you something that is very interesting. The Young Creative Entrepreneurs Award that we had in Nigeria, we had a young guy called Stanley, who emerged as a representative to represent Nigeria at the African Middle East level. This guy came out to be the best in Africa. Now he's representing Nigeria in the world level, which tells you that Nigeria as a country has a lot of young persons doing innovations, carrying out new ideas and policies that could aid national development. So now, as we speak now, we have this young man, Stanley, representing Nigeria at the world level, which I strongly believe. I told him one thing. I said, Stanley, the only thing I feel you would have a challenge, the only countries I feel you might have challenge with when you get to the world level is maybe Japan and China. You understand? Where you see, a 12-year-old, 13-year-old doing great things. Yes. So another thing is coming up in Abuja again, called 10 Outstanding Young Persons Award. What is this about also? It's also to identify young persons doing wonderful things in Nigeria. This will be happening on the 17th at Musa Yar'Adua Center in Abuja. This will assemble over 20 young organizations with young and active minds at the Musa Yar'Adua Center, where discussions would hold. Because we'll also be, it's a 2-in-1 program.
That's a youth...
International Youth Day also would also align with that particular award. So where we'll be honoring over 10 outstanding young persons in different sectors. Talk about leadership, talk about entrepreneurship, talk about creativity, talk about politics. You can also see young persons doing lovely in politics. Now, we can't continue to sit at the balcony of our house and start criticizing. Yes, we need to take the lead. We need to see the need and then take the lead.
So let me hold you there. You said see the need and take the lead. So I will cut you in there because something you just said, we're going to go in there now. And if you've been doing this project, these projects, which are very laudable projects of, getting more youth involved in civic engagement, civic responsibility, to get them involved in participating in politics and all of that. What have been the challenge of garnering that kind of support or the commitment from the youth angle?
Well, thank you so much. We have a lot of youth within that age bracket that we're discussing actually have we're well read, educated, sound. But I think we have a challenge with mindset, which is a kind of reflection from the leadership that we have in our country. Now, a lot of advocacies are going on in trying to actually, reset the youth mindset. A lot of people want to get rich overnight because of the kind of wealth our leaders flaunt. And one thing we keep on postulating is that we keep telling our youth that, come on, you can actually do something better for yourself through impacting your community. See, it is not when you impact directly a nation. You can't impact a nation directly as an individual. You have to start from your space. From your space, you can be identified to a bigger space, and by extension, a national face and worldwide. We've seen teachers win global awards. We've seen people impact from their local community to the world level. So what are we saying in essence? One of the greatest challenges we have, let me put Nigeria as a case study, is a mindset. It's a mindset. Everything does not boil down to money. There are a lot of projects that can be organized even without spending up to even 10,000 or 20,000 naira. A lot of advocacies can be done. What you're doing now, you're actually reaching out to the young minds out there through advocacy. Where, on which platform? Through the media, through hair media, or what is it called? People, anybody driving now, maybe tuned to Maria station, would hear what we're saying. So one way or the other, you are trying to, change your mindset. For us, that we need to see the need and take the. There's a saying that the instinctual response to every challenge, to every challenge is for us to take an action. You cannot see that, okay, there is a challenge and you keep on blowing grammar. The northerners will say Torenchi. You can't continue to speak grammar. You need to see how you can contribute to that particular challenge, which JCI is actually doing.
Okay, now
in Nigeria.
You've just mentioned, the problem you mentioned now is a very big one. It's an ambiguous statement, that is the mindset. And now, apart from the Creative Young Leaders Initiative, the 10 most outstanding young personalities, right? What are the other ways you are involving the youth people? Or do you just have a cycle of persons and that's all? Are you reaching out to Nigerian people? Are you trying to get more people into this advocacy of change and then reorientating them? Mention some of the projects you have done, because I remember I've seen you in one of the secondary school projects. So I need you to say one or two things.
Recently, we also had in the city of, like we said, in your communities where you make that impact from. In the city of Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, we had a very, very good project recently, which is called the Secondary School Debate, catching them young, creating a positive mindset, a positive vibe for the young ones at the secondary school. How do we do this? We look at, issues. Look at issues that affect them. Now, in recent time, we know that online learning is what is in vogue. And this was what we brought to the secondary school now, for them to come discuss. Last year when we had this project, in Abuja, before you can do anything with the schools, you must get an approval from the Secondary Education Board. Last year, they approved 10 schools. But because of the stance and the quality of projects JCI do or implement, the Secondary Education Board approved 20 schools this year. 20, including 3 private schools. Now this project was in partnership with Nile University. What else can you get? You can always get the best. So Nile University gave us a platform to actually, partner with them to have this project. Trust me, this project had in attendance close to 500. Now, how does this translate to impact? Now, these young students in secondary school within GSS 3 to SS3 now know about JC. They know about online learnings. They know the disadvantage and the advantage of online learnings. they know that, oh, who brought these things to us? It is JCI. Now, who partnered with JCI? It is now university. Now, this whole thing is surrounded by the education sector. Now, if any of them believes that education has no impact going forward, even if that child has been forced from home to embrace education, he or she has seen himself at that platform and see the need that, yes, I have to embrace my education. This is the best my parents can give to me.
Okay,
and they are also going to make
thank you so much,
quality leadership from it.
President Obayomi. Before we continue with you, my colleague is going to ask you a few questions. That before then, I'll have to take this numbers so that people can call in and make one or two contributions. And after calling this number, I know Mr. Casey is on standby to give me a soft music to go on break, and then we'll come back and take that. So the number is 081 084 47518. I take it again, 081 084 47518. Section Volunteers Hour. We are still very much here with our great president, our brother, JCI Ambassador Oladipupo Obayebe Latif, the JCI ASU president. It's nice to meet you yesterday.
Thank you so much.
So I'll allow my Fawziyya.
So I think coming from a student's perspective, you mentioned ages 18 to 40, so parallelly 18 to 20, something like university schools. So what ways do you reach out to students, seeing as they are the backbone of that age? So what ways do you reach out to those students? How do you convince them? And what are some of the challenges you've experienced in getting students to say, oh, well, come and impact your community?
Well, thank you, Fawziyya. I'll be so glad to answer that. I apparently joined JCI while I was in the university in 2003. I think I was a club boy in school, and I was just walking by the school, and I saw a sticker with JCI, and I saw JCI serious business. And I was like, come on, so serious business here. Apparently, so I spent, as a club boy in school now, you spend so much money.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fine. Okay, let's see what this is all about. And I got to the meeting and I saw first the way they are dressed. JC is the way they are dressed. So that attracts me. So one thing will definitely attract a young mind. One, everything is in JCI. Serious business, you will get it. Socials, you will get it. Leadership, you will get it. Politics, you will get it. Volunteering, you will get it. Networking, you will get it. International opportunity, you will get it. So tell me what a youth do not want. Oh, you want a wife, you will get it. You want a husband, you will get it. Yes, because you see the perfect set of people that you're there with.
I know Rest will be very happy with that.
So trust me, Fawziyya, you have a lot encompassed in one organization. So it is now left to you as an individual to actually choose where you want to tap from. So in the university, we have a structure called the collegiate, which is for the student. Then we have the city member, who are the working class. So you can actually join right from the university and transcend to a city member. So what are the attractions there? The attractions are the numerous things I've listed now. So if you also, and I've come to realize, for a JC, if you've been a member for at least 1 year, when you talk outside, they should be able to ask you one logical question. What other things do you do, Fawziyya? Then you will be proud to tell them, oh, I think I am a volunteer to JC, or I am a JCI member. So that is one thing that attracts membership in the organization.
Okay, but I like the question you asked. So how do you manage your volunteers? In case in a situation where there is volunteer fatigue, you know what volunteer fatigue is? Sometimes we can get tired and we will meet. How do you manage your volunteers? How do you keep this number of people together? I'm very sure GCI members are up to like 20,000 in the country at the moment.
Yes.
So how do you manage that? The fallouts of some persons, because to volunteer, because you said that you contribute the little money that you have.
Yes.
So it means that the organization is not paying anybody.
It's not
and
paying.
people are bringing in their own.
Yeah, it's a volunteer.
So I want you to talk about how you've been managing those challenges.
Well, it's through engagement and content. You know, it's 365 days to lead in JCI. That alone is a very beautiful way to engage members, because you have that projection that you can actually, take the lead. In my organization, for instance, I'm a president of so many CEOs. It gives me so much joy for 365 days. So now, what I do is, even as a president, I am volunteering.
Yeah.
I'm volunteering. So what brings you to play as an organization is for you to have good plan of action. When you have a good plan of action, your members are excited and they want to see how you roll out your plan of actions. Now, in an organization where there is no plan of action, when there is no activity, I wouldn't have any reason to stay.
So
that is where
what
you
you're
have,
saying. What you're saying now is project engagement.
Yes.
Project engagement of members. Good. Go ahead.
Immediately you see that you have depleting numbers every day, you need to ask yourself another logical question: why am I losing members? Why am I losing volunteers? Then you need to review your plans. Just this year, not that we lost members, but trust me, we just had a review of our calendar to suit the remaining 6 months of the year.
Yeah.
Because our members have done so much between January and now. Now we need to bring in some new vibes. Relaxation, social, international trips, conferences. All these things will make them feel relaxed. As much as you want, people are volunteering, you shouldn't also exhaust them with too much of programs. You need to bring in new things to play. Recently, my colleague, my twin organization in Abuja, Nigeria-Abuja Unity, had an hangout in Reese Continental by the poolside, where we had, nice breeze atmosphere, where we relaxed. Everybody networked. I met new friends. I met new CEOs, new managers of businesses, and we're able to network and get new ideas. So these are ways to, ease and douse all this fatigue you talk about. Because, see, an average youth where I would be able to get engaged, get serious, and at the end of the day, I relax, have fun. Trust me, the best place to get it is JCI.
All right, thank you.
So, sorry, I'm assuming JCI is an acronym.
Yes. Okay, Junior Chamber International. Junior Chamber International. So now, for every country, there's it's peculiar. Now, let's say for instance Nigeria, it is called JCI Nigeria. Junior Chamber International Nigeria. In China, it is Junior Chamber International China. So every country has its own affiliation to JCI International in Missouri, United States of America.
Just a second. Let me, we are still open to calls, please, listeners. You can call us through these numbers: 081-084-47518. I take it again: 081-084-47518. So, Fawziyya.
Yeah, so I think I also want to ask, what are some of the challenges it takes in managing young people or managing students? This volunteering is doing something without money, so sometimes you would be tired, or I don't know, Gen Z, sometimes we can give attitudes.
Yes.
So, what are some of the challenges, Also, how do you market yourselves to young people? Where can young people find you? How do you invite them over?
All right. Every organization has a platform and the likes.
Sorry, please. We have a call. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, please, good morning. It's nice to have you on this program. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, we are up for your contributions.
Yeah, I think I'm one of those persons that have volunteered, and I'm still enjoying the benefit of volunteering. And listening to the speaker, I just want to know if there's an opportunity to join, and how do I join, and just to know how to contribute towards it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. The phone lines are still open, listeners. We saw 081-084-47518. So, my president, sir, I think you're already responding to how
Yes, I
people.
think it ties into my
exactly. So,
all right.
So just take that briefly.
So now, in every community in Nigeria, we have presence of JCI, Junior Chamber International. So what we do is we can actually get from jci.cc or jci.ng, where you can actually, tell your interest that you would like to become a member. So based on your location, a local organization very close to you will be assigned to you by the director of growth of the organization. So we have different social media platforms and websites where you can actually connect the Junior Chamber International. So one of the greatest challenges that we have is actually identifying the right set of mindsets and programs to suit that mindset at a particular point in time. Because what is peculiar in Abeokuta is different from what's
peculiar in
understand.
Abuja, yeah.
So now you could be doing one program in Abuja and you feel that you are not really getting the right attention and the right set of people. So you have to continue to do a review by actually knowing the intention and get the feelers from your target audience, which are the youths of Abuja. And trust me, in Abuja, we work so much. The youths in Abuja, they work so much. They go to office in the morning and close around 6 and they just go home and also go and rest. So at a particular point in time, these young persons actually need organizations where they can actually impact their community through. And another thing is finances. When our own volunteering style, you also spend your money. Mm-hmm. In JCI, you also spend your money. Take, for instance, we are having a mega project that has a 3 project infused, which is called the Save a Soul. It's called JCI ASO Save a Soul. We have JCI ASO JCI ASO Project Hope. And we also have Educate a Child. 3 in 1, very big. We are storming Kabusa community come August 3rd to do this project. You ask yourself, what is Project Hope about? Project Hope is about identifying an orphanage within a community. Go there to access their needs. Now we have the needs of a particular orphanage here in Kabusa. We are also going to the community to identify their health challenge. Now, what are we targeting at that community this year? It is hepatitis B. We are facing hepatitis B in that community loud and clear. Also, Educate a Child. We are also eating at Educating a Child in that community. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3. We've had series of successful young persons from Educate a Child, which is being sponsored by the Adewale Foundation and JCI ASO. It is a collaboration that has lasted for almost 10 years. Trust me, when you get to Kabusa community on the 13th of August, you will have a feeler of impact, big impact. And you know how big Kabusa community is. And that community's leadership is already, waiting to have us. Waiting to have us. We are partnering with Hepatitis Zero, Nigeria, and also the Primary Health Board in Abuja. So it's a big one. And all these funds are from you and I. The 1,000 naira, the 2,000 naira, makes a big amount of money.
That's really fantastic.
Yes.
And I must commend the JCI, ASO, and the other local.
Yes, Abuja Unity, Abuja Metro, we are all coming on board, and it's going to be a big project.
And the other aspect I wanted to take you in, you just said a few things about it on collaboration.
Okay.
And we wanted to know how you are involving, the government in your, projects and programs. And then I'm also in touch with JCI to an extent that you have different zonal conferences,
yes.
That is area conferences. And at this conference, what do you do? And are there communique as a result of a robust discussions that could be presented to government? And if there are communique, how do you push it through to the government and ensure that those policies are implemented?
All right. Thank you.
So you just have like 2 minutes to
Yes,
wrap it up.
yes. Last year we had a very good partnership with the Abuja Chamber of Commerce, which is actually, the arm that actually attends to, business enterprise in the country. Now, trust me, in Abuja, a lot of people feel that because we are in the capital territory, we have, that is network to these politicians and the political class. But we give our best shot. But I can tell you for a fact, we work with a lot of government, agencies and parastatals that make positive impact. And we also work with private owned companies too. We have a lot of partnership with all these multinationals and organizations that come. Most of them come in terms of products. Some of them support in terms of human capacity. Some of them support in terms of finances. And I'll tell you that it's not been easy getting access to collaborators, people to key into our vision, especially when it has to do something with youth. It's a big challenge in Nigeria, but we are still believing that our leaders will also see the need and take the lead in trying to collaborate with organizations such as the JCI and other youth networks in Nigeria, where we'll be able to have the needed partnership, the needed collaboration to actually make that positive impact in national development. And you spoke about community. Yes, we have a national secretariat in Lagos, whereby every conferences that would discuss national issues, topical issues that could, help in national development, communiques are being put together. Through the secretariat, it is being channeled to the government. You understand? Because as a local organization, you are still liable to your national office. So we have, there's another one coming on the 17th in Kefi. And I can tell you, all the stakeholders in Kefi are already involved. The Emir of Lafia, the Emir of Kefi, these are strong personalities. They're already keen into this conference. And a very strong, we'll be having a very robust session where we'll be bringing in different professionals to come and discuss about topical issues for national development. I can tell you this success. I don't need to invite you. Maybe I should invite Fawziyya to that.
I think we'll just have to open it up. I'm also a JCI ambassador, so we've been in the game.
All right.
Okay, so then before we go, I've been giving 5 minutes. So before we go, thank God we still have 5 minutes, so you will still say a word. But there's something we do. I decided to do the reverse of it today. Before we start this program, we always give a quote. But I decided to do the reverse so that you will use it to conclude whatever we are discussing. Just listen to this quote. This quote is from the United Nations coordinator, that's the UN volunteers in Nigeria, Veronica Obiwiwi, right? So just listen to what she said. She said, volunteerism is one of the vehicles that must be set in motion in order to direct the energy and potentials of young people in the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. I don't know, does that resonate with you?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does.
Can you use it to show a bit of how you find yourself in the development space?
Well, I think
I'm looking at your drive, your passion.
Well, there's no clear way. There's no two ways about it. Volunteering is a show of will. Will. It is will. There's no, I don't feel there's any coloration to volunteering. Will. When there is will, trust me, you will do everything that has to do with volunteering with ease, seamlessly. Some people call me that, Mr. President, you are now a president. Why can't you allow somebody to do it? I'll say I want to do it myself. It's in me. And if by 31st December 2022, when I hand over to another president, I'm still going to continue with that passion because it is a will. It is a desired decision that I've taken that I want to make impact. Come and see me on the 13th where we'll make a very full impact in that community. Then you see that will. For anybody that wants to come into the sphere of volunteerism, you should have that passion, that will to actually make that impact. Even if it's just for you to clear a gutter in your environment, it still boils down to will.
I must say that you have just contributed to one of our books. we are writing by giving us a quote. And so we do that every time.
Fun, yeah.
You said, I'll quote you now. Volunteering is a show of will and a desired decision.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So that's very strong, like it's deep. So we really want to appreciate you today. And before we go, finally leave this space, International Youth Day is just around the corner.
Yeah.
And the 10 Outstanding Young Personality award is also in conjunction with that program.
Yes.
So just quickly tell our listeners who are willing to volunteer for JCI and give an official public invitation to them to come and participate in that program.
Well, trust me, Abuja Youth, I can tell you for a fact the IYD/TO10 Outstanding Young Persons Award will be holding live in Yaradua Center on the 13th of August 2022. It is an opportunity for you to learn, relearn new things. And I'm inviting you there. It is open to all young persons and old persons at will to Yaradua Center on the 13th, where we'll be having the 10 Young Outstanding Person Award and International Youth Day of JCI Nigeria, not JCI Abuja now. That project has been brought back to Abuja after so many years. So we're having it live in Abuja. And for those that want to join volunteering through JCI to impact their community, we have 3 local organizations in Abuja. We have the JCI ASO. We usually have our meetings every other month at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel and Suites. We have Abuja Unity, who have their meetings at the Abuja Mall in Zone 7 behind Wadata House. We also have Abuja Metro, who usually have their meetings at Sandralia Hotel in Utako every 3rd Sundays of every month. So please, let's go to the website, softjci.cc, connect and contact us there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having you honor this invitation. I'm sure you're looking forward for another session.
I'll
right?
be so glad to come on there again.
So we're going to part with this word, and before we do that, I would like Fawziyya to say our last word.
Well, this has been a very interesting session. I hope everyone listening, I think, or I know everyone listening has gotten a few things from this conversation.
All right, thank you. So,
can I ask if Fawziyya is a member of JCI or she's willing to join JCI first?
Well, Fawziyya presently is one of our volunteers.
Volunteer.
Impact driven.
Okay.
So,
that's good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Res, your last word.
Well, Abuja, you have heard him. You have heard from the president himself. I hope, personally, I'm after now. I'm joining straight up. I can't afford to miss the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I hope you all listeners do the same. It's going to be a very, very insightful program. Don't miss it.
So, listener, before we depart, I would like to just say a sincere condolence to Res. Res just lost his dad a few days ago. And so he's been a real-time volunteer here. So we pray that God will grant your family the fortitude to be at the last. So listeners, go home with this statement. Volunteerism is a tool for driving community impact. Your presence must be felt as a result of the value you are bringing on board. This quote is from Winnie Uwabali, convener Nigerian Volunteers Award. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, listeners. Next week, same time, same day, and same station.